Welcome to the Wildcast podcast, coming to you from Wildcast Studios with your hosts Adam Lund and Jeremy Boucher.
Oh, welcome to Wildcast Studios on Rogers TV for another episode of the Wildcast podcast, your unofficial voice for all things Moncton Wildcats, presented by Alpha's Appliance Solution, the premier destination for all KitchenAid, Whirlpool, and Maytag appliances. Right now, they got the Jenner Luxury Redefined event. Save 15% when you purchase any 2 or 3 qualifying Jenner products. Save 20% when you purchase 4 or more qualifying Jenner products. Qualifying purchases made now till April 30th. And for those and other deals, go to go to appliancesolutions.ca. As always, Fanishers, I am your host at Stuttering on My Words, Adam, and I am joined by your favorite co-hoster, Mr. YQM, Mr. Starbucks, Mr. Stanley Cup, Mr. Jeremy Boucher. The weather is a changing, sir.
Yeah, eh?
Yeah.
That time change really mess you up too. And
No.
of sleep.
It didn't mess me up. It
No.
messed a certain little one up.
Yes.
Yesterday, or I guess Sunday, she was fighting every nap. She's still fighting every nap on Monday. I think I'd have trouble with it. Poor. She is struggling.
Yeah, I don't like time change. It's
useless. We don't need it.
It is useless. There's got to be a way to get rid of it. Like Saskatchewan, they don't have it, right?
Nope.
No. So there's got to be a way to get rid of it. All the provinces need to jump in here and just say, screw it. Let's have one. No time changes. Let everybody.
Yeah, because now all of Canada's
wins
on the same time.
Yeah.
But then we go to winter. Saskatchewan's like, we're good.
Yeah.
Which is funny because it originated for farmers so that they could stay out later on the fields in the summer and get everything done.
Got it.
Well, Saskatchewan, you would think, would be part of that has a lot of farmers. But how does Avery deal with it? Is it tough for her to?
I mean, she was up pretty late.
Yeah.
But I mean, she's pretty good with going to bed. She puts herself to bed these days. We don't
I would hope so.
Yeah, we don't have to force her to go to bed. When she falls asleep, she falls asleep.
Yeah.
If she's tired for school, I mean, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
But no, it was.
How was March break?
You good?
Yeah.
Had a little different. Our neighbor, he tapped all the maple trees in our neighborhood, and he collects the sap and he makes maple syrup. He went away last week, so I was responsible for collecting all the syrup or the sap from the trees. So it was different for Avery. She enjoyed that. So, and it was nice.
So what is that process?
He's got buckets on all the maple trees.
Right. So you just had to move the buckets. You didn't have to.
Yeah. So he's got. You go check them. And last week it was mild on like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So those trees were flowing. There was some sap coming.
Yeah.
So like I changed. Yeah, I did them. I think Wednesday afternoon.
Yeah.
We have 2 trees in our front yard, and those things are leakers. Like they're.
Your front yard trees leak.
Oh yeah.
Syrup.
Oh yeah.
Or sap, I guess.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Like there's like a bucket, probably like a bucket like that.
Yeah.
And when I went out to check it on Wednesday afternoon, like that baby was full. Like both of them were full. And so I just emptied them in a bigger bucket, and bury it in snow. And then the day later, literally 24 hours later, I go out and those 2 buckets are full again. So there was there's good some good sap flowing.
So you're telling me I don't have to trudge all the way to Briggs Maples to go up those hills to have pancakes. I can just come to the Boucher's.
Well, yeah,
and have free pancakes and
we're not going to get the syrup made probably until I would say April or May.
That's fine.
Yeah, I mean, I can.
My family's here around Easter. Can you do Easter? We'll just
maybe some fresh maple syrup. Compliments of the trees in my front yard.
Yes,
there you go.
I mean, I'm not a big maple syrup fan, but if I'm gonna go get it fresh, I'm gonna.
Yep.
Trying to figure out.
And speaking
Chateau Skadook is where we're probably going to take our family.
Yeah.
Depending on Briggs Maple, we might take them there, but they usually open a little bit later than Easter. But Chateau Skadook seems to be open, so my family's here. We might take my small town family who doesn't like the woods out in the woods to have some maple syrup.
There you go. And speaking of syrup, sweet.
Yeah.
Megan doesn't have the diabetes.
Ah,
Yeah, she passed her tests.
first test she's passed since high school.
Since the driver. Well, yeah.
Driver's test.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it was good. So
That's a relief.
when she found that out, she went and ate a whole box of gummy bears.
I'll show that test.
Bunch of gummy bears and a thing of ice cream.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. That's my wife.
Way to beat the diabetes.
Yeah, diabetes.
Did you watch you don't watch The Amazing Race American, right?
No.
You're the Canadian one?
But anyway, good. Love is Blind on Netflix.
Haven't watched a single episode this past one. Have you seen
interesting season?
Have you seen the Love is Blind challenges now?
No.
On TikTok and stuff? People get set up to watch it. They take a blanket, they put the blanket over top of the TV. So all they see while they're watching is just the person's name. So they want to see what their own get their own kind of view on it. I did see some of the you finished it all, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think Sarah left that guy at the altar because of his beliefs or whatever.
Yeah. There was
that.
a couple relationships that ended because the woman and men didn't have the same social or political beliefs. But I mean, if you're not seeing a person, and you're going on dates with somebody and you're in a pod, you're not seeing each other and you're only having conversations, how are you not bringing up your
beliefs,
political beliefs, social beliefs,
your moral compass?
Yeah, like your morals. How are you not talking about your morals? And
like, what are you talking about? Like, you eventually have to run out of things to talk about.
You're waiting until you're engaged and in front of the person at the altar.
Yeah.
When you decide, no, I'm not going to marry you because we don't share the same, beliefs and morals, and like, come on.
Yeah.
Like, that's.
And then tell your mom, like, well, I asked him about his, like, what his church was like. He's like, I don't know. And then we went and no, they didn't have the same. I'm like, then what did you, obviously you waited to there for TV. Yeah. Like that's gotta be it. Like, but I don't know. I think we started not this one. That was just on the last one before this one, and got like 2 or 3 episodes. And I'm just like, the same concept. Like, it almost seemed like there was forced drama on the one we started watching. So we haven't gotten into that one. We finished Linus on Paramount Plus. We just ripped through that one, and Paradise on Disney Plus, where the president, don't want to give spoilers away, but you've seen it in the trailer, the president dies. They're basically in a bunker because there's a world event that takes out the whole world, and there's certain people that go in a bunker. It's pretty cool.
Okay.
But yeah.
Oh, the best.
And then I watched Trade Deadline Friday.
Trade, yeah. But Daniel and Taylor from Love is Blind do actually get engaged. So I think they're the only couple that I'm probably spoiling it for some people here.
Yeah.
But Daniel and Taylor end up getting married. And when you have a pregnant, hormonal wife at home, all the vows make her cry. So she's just sitting there crying over the vows and all like the sentimental, parts of the show. So that made it a little more interesting to watch.
Yeah, just wait till after the baby comes when it's just you say the wrong word and
What?
I wonder how long we get till we get a Love is Blind Canada on CBC or whatever.
That would actually be amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't. That's a show I would, just because it's Canadian.
Yeah.
I would support that show.
Yeah.
That would be absolutely hilarious.
I think it would be like someone from Newfoundland and Alberta. You talk about morals, like out here, Ontario. Oh yeah, hopefully it won't be too long before that comes. But yeah, NHL trade deadline, you did just as much as the Oilers did.
Yeah.
Did you think you were gonna have some deals? Specifically Anderson? Maybe get a score to help. Like,
I mean
Wolf's playing out of his mind right now.
But at the same time, the group they have right now deserve to continue.
Yeah.
Like, they've got to that point together as a group. I think they deserve to stay as is. and maybe fight for that playoff spot. Anderson, I mean, I'm sure the return would have been nice, but he's probably one of my favorite players right now.
Yeah.
So again, it just would have been.
And you're going to need a defenseman like that down the stretch.
Yeah.
And I was talking to someone, and they said Celebrini was their rookie, and then they said Lane Hudson deserves to be in the rookie of the year category.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, yeah, cool. If the Flames make the playoffs, Dustin Wolf is rookie of the year. Because I can't remember who it was that had the stat. And I'm really good at this. I have an idea, and I can't remember who says it. I should write it down. But I think it was the NHL that had a stat where teams that give up or score teams that don't score as much as the Flames are scoring right now usually finish 30th, 29th, 31st. The Flames are 14th.
Yeah.
And that's all because
Dustin Wolf.
Like, is he playing every game?
Pretty well. He's almost you could say he's their number one right now. He's dialed in. Like I mean, for not being a big goalie, just being an athletic goalie. Yeah.
It's got to be cool to have a goalie you draft and he comes in and just lights the world on fire. Carries your team to
round pick.
Yeah. Carries your team to, almost the playoffs and just,
He's going to get paid.
Yeah. Yeah. It must be nice to have a goaltender. Anyways. So the Oilers did sweet Jack All. They got Wallman. Again, ties to Connor McDavid. Just going to have Connor McDavid and friends. I mean, he's a good defenseman from everything that I heard. They didn't go get a top 6 forward because they were in on Rantanen, which basically means that they just weren't, but they told the media to tell people that. We were in on Rantanen, couldn't make it work, and then we couldn't get another top 6 forward. If you had the assets to go get him, you had the assets to go get another one.
Yeah. No, that's going to be interesting.
So, yeah, just whatever. We'll see. I don't know. But retweet to ruin a Bruins fans day, like Marchand to Florida.
Yeah.
For a conditional second. That is a first if he plays 50% of their playoff games or something like that. Like a conditional second. That's all it costs. Nothing else.
That's quite something.
Yeah.
That's going to be a lineup.
Yeah. It is amazing the 2 teams that went to the Stanley Cup Finals. Florida didn't really do a whole lot. They got rid of their backup goaltender and brought in Brad Marchand, who's a proven winner. The Oilers turned in their bottom 6 for worse bottom 6 players. And so that's my life. All right. As always, Ministers, don't forget, you can follow us on the social medias, Twitter, Moncton Wildcast, Instagram, Wildcast Podcast, TikTok, now with 1,000 followers. So thank you to everyone on there. And thank you to Nicole for allowing me to share that video of Gardiner jumping on the bus, which I think now is at over 10,000 views.
On TikTok?
On TikTok, nice. It is at 11.7 thousand views.
Beauty.
Yep, it is our 4th highest behind our $1.7 million view of them singing the anthem wrong at the Memorial Cup a couple years ago. Caleb's draft, first overall draft at 79,000. Our interview after he won gold is at 19,000, and then the Gardiner is at 11.7 thousand. Which is such a weird algorithm because some of our stuff, like our Moran interview, 600. Our interview with Mallory, 500. Like it's just like some stuff is 1,000, some stuff is 11,000, and it just depends who sees it, and it's probably now trickling into Fredericton and UNB and all that stuff. But yeah, and then as well on the YouTube, don't forget to like and smash that subscribe button. It lets us know that you like what we're doing. Click that bell so you don't miss any podcast post games, as well some pregame stuff, maybe potentially into the playoffs, because it feels like it's going to be a nice long run. I got a quick question for you there, sir.
Okay.
Because we don't have a lot of news, so let's have a quick question. I sent this to you. Moncton has a shot to now win the Luc Robitaille Trophy for the team with the best offensive average. The Robert LaBelle Trophy, the team with the best defensive average. But do the Wildcats have a chance for a first-time general manager and head coach to win general manager and head coach of the year? I've put some names together that for nominees. Coach is usually the top teams that get it. Gardiner and Moncton, obviously. Perreault and Rimouski. Favreau and Drummondville. And Turcotte and Blainville. And then my GMs are basically the same teams: Taylor, Danny DuPont, Rimouski, LeMay and Drummondville, and Picard and Blainville.
Mm-hmm.
Do they got a shot to both get coaching award and GM of the year?
I think they do. At the same time, sometimes these awards are, there's always a host team that happens to be in on one of these awards.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if they'll necessarily get both, but they will get one for sure. I would love to see them get both, though. That would be something else to have a father-son, win Coach of the Year and win GM of the Year.
First and only time, I would imagine.
Yeah, it would be extremely awesome. I mean, but at the same time, all these trophies, all these awards.
Yeah, trade them in for the big one.
Yeah. Trade them in for the Mem Cup in a heartbeat. I mean, 100%. It's nice. All these recognitions, all the accolades are nice, and they'll look good in the in the Irving Trophy case. But there's one that he wants more than any of those other ones, right? So, and I'm sure Gardiner will say the same. I'm sure Taylor would say the same. I'm sure Mr. Irving would say the same. They want the big one. They don't want these. I don't. The last thing I want is for them to have
everything but,
or on the last home game of the regular season, they bring the Jean Rougeau Trophy in, and it's a big celebration. Like, no, just say congratulations. Here's a trophy. Don't touch the goddamn thing.
No trophy touching at all,
and just get to the game. No ceremony, no nothing. Congratulations. Please stand for O Canada. I don't need to see a big presentation for these trophies.
It's weird because when I'm looking, when you Google Jean Rougeau Trophy, and it shows the commissioner and the deputy commissioner, I can't remember his name, with players on the ice, but I don't know if it's players that season or if it's players the year after, because like I'm looking at Quebec and they won with Gauthier, they got Rochette, and if he's the captain, that's the 2023 year, which means they brought it out before the end of the year. Yeah. If I don't even need to bring it. Don't even that every single trophy that
cancel the flight
we have. Yeah. Every single trophy or banner that we have a chance to win, I don't need to see ceremonies until next year.
Yeah.
And because if you're planning to win all of them, just do it at once. I'm with you. I do not want to see this. If you're going to do it this Sunday. Get it out of the way so the last home game we're not worrying about that, blah blah. If you have to. But please don't.
I agree. It's bad enough we're already that Craig Eagles article is I don't want to look back on that and call it a Coach Craig curse, but
we don't want to look back.
I would have loved for him to maybe not put that out.
Yeah, that could find itself on unfortunate queue.
It could very well.
I think for me, Gardiner's got the best shot of the two. I think GM of the year, and I know it always goes to the top team of the league, but I think Picard and Blainville. I think what he did in at the trade deadline, moving out Fauchon to get every Rimouski pick available.
Yeah. And they got better.
And they got Gorionov and Hamel. That's the only two players they brought in on that trade, and they got better. Yeah. And they're challenging for second in the division or second in the conference.
Yep.
So I think if out of the two, I think Gardiner's got the best shot to be Coach of the Year because we haven't lost back-to-back games in regulation this season. Not saying Taylor hasn't done a good job, but depends what they look for it because Taylor did a lot of his moves in the offseason. Blainville did a lot of their moves in the trade deadline. So I think if I had to pick, and that's why I put Blainville in there because we had this discussion last year. Should it be the number one team or should it be the team that did the best? Maybe didn't have the best record, but had the best moves and was able to be the best team.
Yeah.
And I think Blainville is that team.
I agree. And if you look at what they've got in the cupboards, He could very well be, if it's him that wins the GM of the year, he could very well be a back-to-back after next season as well. Because they are looking good for next year.
I'm just trying to.
Everybody's talking about Chicoutimi. Nope.
Yeah.
We don't get too far ahead.
No, we got
That's
some.
1 year from now.
Yeah. And I mean, some of these picks are going to be gone by the draft, which is going to make them look even better. Blainville has a first, 2/3, and a fourth this year, and they got 4 firsts in 2026, a second,
Unreal.
a third, a second, 3 thirds, and then 2027 they have 2 firsts, a second, 2 seconds, 2 thirds, 2 fourths, because they got all of those picks from Rimouski for Sean. Whereas Chicoutimi has first, second, third, and 2 thirds in there. So
yeah,
like,
I mean, Chicoutimi's got the core right now already.
Yeah,
Blainville is going to be the team that's making the moves, and they've got the cupboards stocked to make the moves.
Yeah, absolutely. They got a shot if they do things right that they'll potentially be the team heading to Kelowna, which, fun fact, again, just like this year, the team that didn't look like they were on the upswing in their cycle, in Rimouski, that had to do a ton of work. Kelowna is last in the WHL.
I saw that. Yeah. Missed out on yeah.
You had a chance to have the CHL Player of the Year in McKenna, exceptional status in your league. The team that's last and is going to have to sell almost everything for.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Shameful.
Yeah. But hey, maybe we'll have Dan McKenzie on and grill him on why. Eh? All right, let's do the thing where we do the thing and talk about some news and notes.
News and notes from around the Q.
All right, news and notes from around the Q presented by Integrity Lawn Care. Check them out on Instagram or give them a call, 506-866-8218, or email them at integritylawncare@hotmail.com. As it's starting to get a little bit warmer and the snow might actually be gone by the end of this week.
Next weekend.
Yeah, there's a potential for that. So news, nothing. There is. Yeah, there is just a whole lot of no news going on in the league that I was trying to find other than teams of the week. So let's get to the QMJHL team of the week. Luke Woodworth from Drummondville, 2 games, 1 goal, and 5 assists. Justin Carbonneau from the Armada, 3 games, 7 goals, 2 assists. Uri Pekarchuk of our Moncton Wildcats, 3 games, 3 goals, 2 assists. Alexi Bernier from Baie-Comeau, 3 games, 2 goals, and 3 assists. Ty Higgins from the Huskies, 3 games, 2 goals, and 3 assists. And in net, Matthias Rousseau from our Moncton Wildcats, 2-0, a .948 save percentage, and a 1.5 goals against average. And your player of the week is from the Armada, Justin Carbonneau. Like I said, 3 games, 7 goals, 2 assists, but nope. Yeah, we didn't hold them off score sheet. We're one of those goals. Yeah, and now we get to everyone's second favorite part of the show.
It's now time for the one and only Boucher's Team of the Week.
Needs a new picture. That's an old picture.
How old is it?
Oh, man, that was probably Canada Day 2 years ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That's a Happy Brewing Company.
It's the best one I could find because I didn't want to tell you about it, so I had to surprise you with it. So I was like, oh, let's go with this one. Yeah, I was gonna use what's in behind that Boucher picture that I took there. The trash can that says Boucher, but I thought people might get
the Boucher's trash can team of the week.
That'll be next year's segment when we're looking for things to talk about.
The trash. Boucher's taking out the trash. Team of the week.
Yeah. We got some ideas. If you'd like to sponsor the Boucher trash team,
it'll be the 3 forwards, 2 defensemen with the worst plus minus during the entire week.
Oh, man.
Taking out the trash.
Yeah. Let's go. Fans excited for Shadow Wolf is pulling for that now. He's like, let's do this. Let's go.
And with a -6.
Yeah. In 3 shifts.
Oh, crap. All right, let's do this. So in goal, we have Riley Mercer, who is now the all-time leader in games played by a goaltender in Drummondville history.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. surpassed Jean-Francois Racine. That's a name that it's very familiar.
Yeah.
Olivia Rodrigo's up there.
Yeah.
But yeah, he passed him just on Sunday against Blainville, took the record.
Nice.
On defense, Alexis Bernier, as we also saw on the Q Team of the Week, 5 points in 3 games, I think he had.
Yeah.
Draft eligible defenseman. I think he's Nicola Riopel client, if I'm not mistaken.
That is correct.
And this one here, as I told Adam before we started to record, it's the Boucher Team of the Week, so I make the rules. Moncton Wildcats prospect, Dominic Nikash.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Playing for I'm going to do this in French, the Viking de Saint-Eustache. Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah, not bad.
First 2 playoff games with this team advancing to the next round. 5 assists in 2 games, all goals, all assists, no goals. I think there was 1 game where he had 4 assists. So yeah, very good. Oui. Bonsoir. Oui.
Whoops.
Say bonsoir. Oui.
Oui.
Yeah, so he's a player that I'm extremely excited about to have in our system. Up forwards, I'm just seeing my team of the week now. It does look like I was short of forward, so I'm going to throw Uri Karchik on there just for shits and giggles.
Yeah.
Because I did think I had all 3 forwards, but apparently I don't. So Uri Karchik, you're on my team of the week. Also on my team of the week is Justin Carbonneau, of course, 9 points in 3 games, including a full 4-goal game Sunday against Drummondville. 3 of those 4 goals in the first period.
Jeez.
And finally, rounding out my team of the week is Sam Oliver. First player to the 50-goal plateau this season.
This is a good team of the week. I like the Nikash in there.
Prospect integration.
Yes, I like that.
Speaking of him, stud.
It's a good thing you put him in there because we're going to talk about him here shortly.
Oh,
yeah.
was this unexpected?
No, not really. I mean, I guess we can now. I was going to save it more for the preview, but you said he was going on to round 2.
Yep.
So they're playing this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
You think he comes up as an ace, black ace?
Only when they're out.
That's what I mean. Like when they're out, like does he come to Moncton?
Oh yeah. He should.
With like the Schlenders, Nikash, Hain, Diamond. Yeah, like these guys are practicing, playing with the team. Is just like he's one of them that would come.
I would hope so.
Yeah,
being a young guy. Speaking of Jack Hain, named Amherst Amber's Rookie of the Year, and the I think it's Captain's Choice.
Yeah.
Player of the Year.
Nice.
So good on Jack.
If he gets a couple games at the end of the year, he has a chance to be an Amblers Ramblers Rookie of the Year and Moncton Wildcats Rookie of the Year.
Oh, right now, that's
yeah.
Binkley's got that award wrapped up.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nikash, I'd love to see him, but his team is very good.
Yeah.
So I think they're going to go pretty far. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, you probably won't see him until. No, that's going to be Livy. Because they're. I mean,
have they lost yet?
I don't think they have.
Okay.
They're a juggernaut, undefeated so far. If he does join the team, probably won't be until maybe
round 1.
Yeah, round 1, round 2, maybe.
Yeah.
So
again, I think it'd just be great for. I mean, they kind of did that with Iasenza too. Brought him up way earlier than a lot thought, and his development just went through the roof. Yeah. So I think if you can get him in here, practicing along with Batchelder too, get them in practicing just for extra bodies. Like we're gonna get to a situation, and we'll talk about it a little bit. Like once you get into these playoffs, you're gonna lean on guys heavily. So to give them a day off in practice, and again, we don't know how Gardiner runs his practices, but to give them a day off and allow some of these young kids to get in there on an optional skate or whatever, I think it's a wonderful idea. But
yeah, those playoffs are going to be starting here soon. I think Maritime Hockey League playoffs start this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And West Kent, that would be Batchelder and Diamond, are Campbellton? Playing Campbellton, I think.
Believe so.
Yeah. So that starts Sunday.
Oh, nice.
Sunday the 16th. So
what did you think of the new Chaleur Lightning?
Chaleur Lightning?
Yeah.
I know there's some people that are fired up about it. I thought the logo, I think it took like 2 minutes to design. So that's my only comment. It's great to have junior A hockey in Bathurst, but the logo didn't take very long to put together. Let's put it that way.
Seemed seemed a lot of busy to me, like with the waves
Mm-hmm.
and then the lightning, and there's like a big lightning bolt and then 2 side lightning bolts, and then there's lightning bolts by the numbers.
It's a lot going
There's a
on.
lot going on. I'm not a fan of the Chaleur. I mean, I know it's the region up there, so I get it. You assume it's going to be Bathurst, and maybe that's just what I thought. So my brain took a bit to comprehend. I like the color scheme. I think the jerseys are fine. The number on the bottom stripe is a little weird because you're not ever going to see that. But yeah, I think the logo, I think they could have pulled it back a little bit, especially for a circle logo. Like, feels like they were trying to be like the Tampa Bay Lightning, but also put like a wave in behind that because Tampa Bay Lightning just has the lightning bolt.
Yeah,
it's exciting for them. Like,
yeah, it's good.
I'm happy for them to have that team up there. Wonder if we're gonna see a lightning podcast from Johnny Rocket.
Lightning crashes. Oh,
we always try to get some singing in. We should probably talk about our team.
Yeah, we got some good stuff to say.
Yeah, we do. All right.
Weekly Rewind.
Can I say it?
Yep.
Can I say it?
Yep.
Winning is fun.
Winning is fun. The Wildcats swept the Quebec road trip this past weekend, bringing the record to 48-9-2 for 98 points, which clinches the Jean Rougeau Trophy.
Jacques Cousteau.
Already clinched the Maritime, already clinched the Eastern Conference. It now clinches the Jean Rougeau Trophy, which means the road to the Memorial Cup will come through Moncton. Maybe with a detour to Fredericton and then back through Moncton. And it's looking more and more like a first round matchup with Quebec, which will be a 2-3-2 series. So for the third year in a row, Moncton will be in a 2-3-2 series. We went to full 2-3-2 in extra time against Baie-Comeau a couple of years ago. And then last year we didn't need the other 3 games in the series. Moncton
times.
Yeah.
Thanks, Lacroix.
Quebec has a 8-point lead on Halifax right now for the 8th seed. So
safe.
Yeah, seems more and more likely that it'll be a Quebec one. And 1 point by Charlottetown against Halifax will clinch 7th for them, or clinch 8th for Quebec. So we'll definitely be playing that team in that round. Wednesday, Battle of the Q heavyweights. It didn't disappoint. They started out quickly with a goal 2 minutes in. They got out to a 3-1 lead. They had to hold on at the end of it, but Rudy Guimond was everything that we thought he would be. I was very pleased to see him get this game. And he was fantastic, including the first star. The first time he's been named a star.
Rudy Russo
was in a visitor's building after 25 saves as opposed to 42 a couple nights before. I did have somebody reach out to me and they're like, well, Russo's name was there. Now it's Guimond's. What does that mean? I'm like, Russo played the last game. They probably just forgot to remove it and put Rudy into it.
It's our new goalie.
Yeah.
Rudy Russo.
I wouldn't read too much into any of it. But yeah, he was very good in this one.
He was spectacular. The entire team was spectacular. This was, even though the scoreboard wouldn't show it, total domination. Like, they were all over them from the moment the puck dropped. This easily could have been 5-1 or 6-1. There was a couple, I think they missed a couple open nets.
Yeah.
On some odd man rushes. They dominated this game. There was a little closer than it should have been. Some I think if it wasn't for that third goal and Rimouski tied it when Moncton had 4 or 5 chances to clear the zone, it'd be a different conversation right now.
We might have just had the 1 point instead of 2.
And it happened on a couple of occasions later on in the road trip. I can't remember which game it was. Which game was close? It was the Sherbrooke game, wasn't it?
No, Sherbrooke was 4-1.
No. Okay. So maybe there was other moments on the road trip where they had opportunities to clear the zone and didn't.
Yeah, because the Armada one was 2-2, and then they potted 3, or 2 empty netters.
Yeah.
So it was 3-2.
Yeah.
But
So
yeah.
take an extra second.
And sometimes you don't have that extra second,
No,
but I 100% get what you're saying, because there's
don't
many
clear the
times
puck right at Buddy.
it's like,
I mean, you've got
there's one guy, all the room in the world, and somehow they fire it right at him.
Yeah.
It's just like, I don't know if it just happens to maybe bounce off the stick or they're getting pressured a bit, but it's like all the room in the world, and they fire it right at the guy.
what is it, 80 feet wide?
I think something like that, yeah.
And you're shooting at a guy that's maybe 2 feet.
And
Come on.
Dead center at him.
There's no but this was, they put it to him.
Yeah.
Right? Like what was the shots in this one?
32-27 for
So-
Moncton. But in the second period, first period was 13-12 Moncton, second period was 12-6, and then 9-7. And I think most of those 9 shots from Rimouski probably came in the final 2 minutes.
Yeah. Like they actually did a pretty good job of keeping them to the outside.
Yeah.
Right? There wasn't very many Rudy Rougeau played great, but there just wasn't very many quality scoring opportunities for Rimouski, and that was more or less the difference. They fans were loud. You could hear the fan bus on through the broadcast. It was they really gave that team an extra bit of juice. So good on them. But that was
Being healthy helped.
being healthy helped.
Having Pekarchek, you said aces in the places before we talked about it when I was asking Rudy or Rousseau, and we got both of them, Rudy Rousseau.
Mhm.
You said aces in places, and Pekarchek allows us to have the forward depth and the right guys in the right spots. And I don't think McKinnon played in this one. He didn't play the whole road trip. Aiden Diamond played. No, he didn't. We went 11-7 that day, didn't we? Yeah, he played the next one.
Yeah.
I'll
talk about him here in a second.
Exactly. This one, the Wildcats had a chance. Again, we're going to keep talking about it until it changes. They had a chance with a power play in the second period on a 5-on-3.
5-on-3, yep.
And they had a chance to put it to 4-1 at that point, and that would have sucked the wind right out of that building. There wouldn't have been a comeback. It wouldn't have been as close. They can't find a power play goal. And it's going to be a theme that I'll get to at the end of this whole recap. I'll give you the good and the bad from our special teams. Then you get into Sherbrooke, the return of Maxime Cote.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a fussy little one. And I wasn't feeling well, so I didn't watch much of this game. But from what I heard, and you can recap this one word describes this game, and that's Rousseau.
Yeah, you could you could say that it was a Rousseau show, but Sherbrooke also has a Rousseau, so you could say it was the Rousseau show for them too.
Yeah, Thomas Rousseau.
It
was a Rousseau show.
I think he needed this game. He really needed this game. He was, this. I think he's kind of settled into his spot now with Moncton.
It's the gear.
It is, yeah. It's the gear. Didn't we say it?
You said it. Get him some new gear.
Get him some Wildcats gear, and he'll be a different goalie.
And I think the fact that we have a capable backup.
Mm-hmm. We
have a 1A, 1B, and I think it takes a lot of pressure off him that he knows that, and the team knows that Rudy is there.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think that makes a big difference.
Yeah. At this point, it's like we don't even know who our number one goalie is, but I'm not complaining.
No,
because not many teams can say that. Karchik was just the whole road trip. He was on a whole other level. He was a man amongst boys this entire road trip. He was, just his setup to Caleb on the first goal of this game, and then some of his goals. Like, he's not going to miss.
No.
He's on a whole other level right now, and that line is just arguably the best, probably the best line in the league. You can't find another line that's doing what they're doing right now. And I mean, can you say about Vidicek? I mean, he had a 10 game goal streak, which was a new Wildcats record.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
I had no idea. I was really hoping he was going to get that empty netter to keep going. And I noticed in the Blainville game, which we'll talk about, they pulled the goalie and Rougeau caught it at one point, and I was like, is he gonna? And then Blainville got too close to him, so he had to keep it, or I think he played it away. But I was like, what if he's thinking about it? Yeah. But I went and looked at his stats. Like you said, he played well against Sherbrooke. We were talking when the trade happened and a little after, like this trade was made for the playoffs. Mm-hmm. You go back and look at the Sherbrooke Halifax series. The first 2 games, they were down 0-2. He gave up 8 goals in those 2 games. He came back in the next 4 wins and gave up 4 goals in 4 games, including back-to-back shutouts against Sherbrooke. So he's comfortable in that building. And that was 3 of the 4 wins were in that building. He's comfortable in that building. Yep. And it showed, because I kind of watched some of the highlights, but it showed, I think there was a stretch where he made 6 or 7 saves in a row in the second period or something like that. Like, because I got a message from Jeff and he's like, holy Rougeau. And I'm like, all right. So that was at this time. So I go back and look and I'm like, oh yeah, no, he made a lot of saves. So I think he was comfortable in that building.
Yeah, he's dialed in. And like analytically, they know that. Yeah. Right. They know if a goalie's had success in a particular building, you're gonna play. And yeah, I mean, I'll say it. I wasn't happy with the effort. Nope. Wasn't happy with the effort. I think they were, I don't know, maybe, I don't know if they put a little too much energy into the Rimouski game.
I was going to say, is it the same situation where they were Drummondville and lost a little bit with Blainville and had to come back? Mm-hmm. Rimouski, Sherbrooke.
Yeah, it just seemed like they didn't have the same energy or, can I say this? Juice for this game compared to the Rimouski game. Like the Rimouski game I thought was domination, and they controlled the play for 59 minutes probably.
Yeah.
This game yes, they played well, but they didn't have it. But I'm not saying they got lucky to get the win, but I think on a couple of occasions they probably had the first goal was a little lucky. I think Karchuk meant to shoot it, but it went right on Desnoyers' stick. I just
Mercier was a tip, I think.
Yeah, even the Mercier was just a tip. Even the third game, I didn't think they didn't have their legs for the Sherbrooke game or the Blainville game. The Blainville game, they came on in the third period. I think they really emptied the tank. But even the first 40 minutes, they didn't seem like themselves, but they still played good enough to win.
Yeah. Yeah. And it was a rematch. We pretty sure Hamel was going to play. He did, which makes them a different team. And it was back and forth. And it just kind of looked like they were, I don't want to say hanging on, but it kind of looked like, for lack of a better word, they were kind of hanging on, hoping to kind of get a bounce here or there. And then Carbonneau got a gift from Mr. Johansson. And after that, it looked like they were pissed off. The Wildcats looked like they were pissed off and they were going to take it over. I would say they probably outshot them. They outshot them 19-5 in that third period. I'd probably say they outshot them 17-2 after that. Like Rougeau 17-3. Like I don't think Rougeau had a whole lot to do after that Carbonneau goal. And I mean, I think it more surprised him because he was caught standing up when it went high blocker on him, which, I mean, it was a good shot by Carbonneau. He's got 42 goals this year. But yeah, the fans energized him.
Yeah.
That bus trip pulled 2 points out of Blainville.
Yeah, you can tell. Like they were a difference maker. And Blainville, that building was full on Saturday. But we can safely say it was probably 50% Wildcats fans.
Yeah.
There was a lot of Wildcats supporters in that building. But the tying goal, win the draw, right on net.
Oh, just a beauty shot.
Yeah. And I mean, what can you say? I mean, there was, the Johansson giveaway was kind of
Perfect.
frustrating. It
Just
was
right on his tape.
Oh,
Like,
it was
just a beauty pass.
great
You said to
pass.
me, go back and watch that because I was putting the baby to bed. I come on. I'm like, what do you mean it's 2-1? What the? I was like,
Yeah.
and you're like, go back and watch it. I was like, that wasn't good.
Yeah, that was bad. But then, of course, the empty net goal, and totally redeem yourself.
Yeah.
That's he needed that one. But no, the Bogarchik goal, just win the draw, put it on net. The Cote goal was interesting because Fort's defender was coming at him, but the defender just kind of just stepped back.
Yeah.
Instead of going
At him. Yeah.
Which allowed him to get the puck on the net.
Yeah.
If that forecheck comes at him, he's not getting a shot on goal. He's probably passing it over to the other point. But because that forechecker backed off, it gave him a lane to get the puck on net.
Yeah.
So it's just crazy how the game just changes like that just by a decision, just a wrong decision by a forechecker, what led to the game-winning goal.
Yeah, and I don't know I don't think I was as surprised that Rougeau got another start. I think the way he played in Sherbrooke, I think they were like, you know what? He's feeling good. Instead of sitting him down and waiting a week or whatever to play, let him run. He's got some confidence. Let him keep going. And he showed it by having another strong effort against Blainville with a flurry of saves. Like, you can see the points of that's the Rougeau we're getting. And I'm going to talk about him in a little bit, but you can see it. Aiden
Diamond of the week.
Huh?
You got him on the team of the week.
100%.
Yeah.
Aiden Diamond filling in for McKinnon.
Yep.
That is just a training camp invite that is working out. He plays such, I think I said to you, he plays such a simple game.
Mm-hmm.
He gets the puck on the point. He doesn't try to just fired at the net or fired into the corner. He actually makes a play. I think in the Blainville game, he took it kind of down and got a shot on net. I thought he played a really good game, and he's afforded himself to be the seventh defenseman that they can rely on to play, or I guess
the
eighth defenseman.
Yeah.
But they can rely on him. Like, they didn't go down to 5 defensemen in back-to-back games because they were worried about what Aiden Diamond would do offensively or defensively.
Yeah. You know what I liked about this road trip is, despite being a call-up, he still played, still had a regular shift. The fourth line still had a regular shift. There was that point of that was it the Blainville or Sherbrooke game where Binkley just had the shift of his life?
Blainville, because I didn't watch
Yeah,
the puck stolen and then had a shot on net, and then Samson had a hit and got a pass over to Kluche for another shot on net.
Yeah. So they're playing, which is awesome. That's what we need to see. It's going to take, ice time away from the top lines, which is going to give them rest.
Yeah.
That's what we need. But yeah, Aiden Diamond, I mean, I told you yesterday, I told you, like, I have a feeling he's a scorer, but he just didn't get that opportunity. I will say his poise and his shot selection is probably better than some of the defensemen we've seen this year.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen it.
He just doesn't get nervous with what do I do?
We've seen a couple times where these defensemen are just rushing their shots and it's going into a shin pad. I saw on a couple of occasions on this road trip where he just did a little head fake and it allowed him to get around the forechecker and get a shot off. And that's what we just need. Take that extra, second to do a little dipsy doodle, if you want to call it that, razzle dazzle. And, it's going to create a lane. It's going to create an opportunity. The patience can be, I don't know. I was trying to come up with a quote, but
I think some of it
they didn't get it.
Like 4 minutes later, you'll be like, the patience is the virtue. And I think some of it too is you don't know what you don't know. Yeah. And so, he doesn't know the moment being too big for him. It's just a game that he's been playing since he was 5 or 6 years old. He just knows there's a guy there, take a step, get it in the boards, like get it down to the vets that have been here that can make plays, and I think that's what's.
He had a travel day too. Did you hear about
Yeah,
that?
no, I would imagine.
I think he played. When were the games? Wednesday,
Friday, Saturday.
Friday, Saturday, and I think West Kent played. Let me just confirm this here. West Kent Steamers, great name.
Sure is.
I don't know if he did. He didn't do 3-3. What were the 8th? Yeah, so he played Wednesday in Bouctouche against Fredericton.
Mm-hmm.
Probably got the call Thursday, so probably had to fly to Montreal because I don't think he was on the bus. I don't think he was on the trip, according to what Marty said. He
wouldn't have been on the trip because he would have had to been listed as a healthy scratch.
Yeah, so he played Wednesday for West Kent, and probably I'm assuming flew to Montreal.
You don't think he drove up? I would assume he probably flew.
Yeah,
put him in the Irving Jet.
Yeah.
We flew him to Montreal. Yeah, like because if he would have been on the trip, he would have had to been a healthy scratch on that Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
And he probably would have played that Wednesday because I think Mullen played that day.
So good on him. Good on him, man. Yeah. I mean, that's his age is really going to help out for next year for sure. He's 18 this year. He'll be 19 next year. I think if he can, with junior A experience, it's only going to help him. And you can, not to take away from anything from Ian Diamond, but I think there's going to be a defenseman in Truro that's going to get a lot of free agent invites. Defenseman by the name of Tristan Saint-Delay or something like that. He plays for Truro. Very good defenseman. Very good.
A lot of invites where?
Q camps. Like he's going to get.
Oh,
he's going to have some invites.
Well, let's invite him here.
Yeah. Why not?
Truro
Bearcats.
Looking at West Kent's. Doesn't the younger Mullen play there too?
So the younger Mullen actually got sent back down to U18s.
Oh, did he? Okay.
So he's playing for the Weeks.
Okay.
Pictou, I think.
Based on the Steamers Campbellton playoff series, if Campbellton is able to take it in 4 or 5 games, we will have Aiden Diamond available for the start of the playoffs. Because Game 6 would be Friday, March 28th. And so if they're done on the 26th, he is able to be a black ace for us. And same with Batchelder, which leads into the preview.
Tristan Saint-Gelais.
Okay.
For Truro. I think he's going to get a lot of. No, I don't think so. He's from Quebec. But I think this guy's going to get some free agent offers. He's good. Pretty good.
So before we look ahead, would you like the good news or the bad news of the road trip?
The good news or the bad news?
Yeah.
There was bad news from the road trip?
There was a little bit of bad news.
Oh.
Not bad news we never know about.
Okay.
We know not bad news we haven't talked about already, but the power play?
Oh, yes.
0 for 8.
Yeah.
Penalty kill? 7 for 7.
Yay.
So it's a net positive on that. But as you saw in the Rimouski game, they had a power play chance and a 5-on-3 to put that game away. And you're going to need those kind of playoff power play goals to put teams away and not allow them to come back. And again, we talked about it underneath at the last home game. I'm just putting it in my brain that they're cooking something up in the laboratory and we're going to see a completely different power play.
That's what you think. I think that's what I'm thinking too. And I think a lot of people think that.
I think a lot of people hope that too, because it's got to be something. This team has too much talent to be, and you can see it with Pekarchek. And I tell you this all the time: when he wants to be, not that he doesn't, but when he wants to be the best player on the ice, he will be the best player on the ice. Yep. It doesn't matter who he's on the ice with.
Yeah.
And there's times when he gets on that power play, he is the one that is moving that power play around. He's trying to get in different spots. It's something I'd like to see in the final 5 games. Is I'd like to see 25 to 30% on the power play in the next 5 games. Like, get some goals. You've got opponents that are below you in the standings. I mean, everyone is. You got some teams that are battling for playoff spots that you should take care of. I want to see some power play success. Starts tomorrow against Cape Breton. We've had their number this year, 6-1 against them. Feels like it could be a round 2 potential matchup. But it's one of those things I'd like to have this one off a long road trip. This one seems like, I think it was earlier in the year where they went on a 3-game road trip and then they went to St. John and just played like garbage.
Well, Cape Breton's going on for a road trip too.
Yeah.
So it could be.
And the first game at home is generally the toughest, but I think there was a time early in the year they went on a 3-game road trip, went to St. John, got completely manhandled, and then came home and were fine.
Yeah.
I'd like to see that.
Yeah. And Cape Breton's going to want to redeem themselves too. Needed overtime against the Remparts, lost to Baie-Comeau, and lost to Chicoutimi. So not a very good road trip for the Eagles, only getting 1 point. So they're going to want to, redeem themselves too.
Because they're battling for home ice right now. They're 1 point behind Baie-Comeau.
Yep. So
and only 5 up on Cape Breton. I don't think they play Cape Breton, do they? Or 5 up on Bathurst.
I think they're done in Bathurst.
I think they're done in Bathurst as well.
Yeah. But, you're right. I mean, you mentioned these teams, they're – I don't want to take these teams lightly, right? Like the St. John's, the Halifaxes, and the Bathurst, because they're battling for positioning.
I think that benefits us that they're battling.
Yeah.
That Halifax and St. John aren't out already. I think that is a major benefactor to us.
But that's they're going to come out with their best. So you have to be able to match it and beat it. So, Cape Breton. You never know what to expect when you go into Cape Breton. We've seen good efforts. We've seen not so good efforts. I just want to see the momentum keep going. It'd be nice if they could. I mean, I don't think it's going to happen, but for them to go on a 15-game winning streak down the season,
I do not.
Would be no. You want to taste defeat?
I want to taste a little bit defeat, and honestly, I want one of the goaltenders to taste it.
Yeah,
I do not want it to come in the playoffs. But yeah, I don't want to have a 15-game. Last thing we want, and I know this team isn't going to mentally shatter, but the last thing I want is to go 15 straight to end the season, and then game 1 against Quebec, they get surprised, and all of a sudden they're like, "Oh, okay, now we have to flip the switch."
Yeah.
They can. They haven't lost 2 in a row in regulation, but I don't want that. I'd rather take a loss to Cape Breton and maybe fine, I'll give Bathurst one of them. You know what I mean? Like no, screw Bathurst. I don't want them to win. Like a St. John.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't think I want to go all the way, because then once you get to that one loss in the playoffs, it's like, oh, now what?
Total reset.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it was just like when you wonder what would happen after, Gardiner lost his first game in the queue, and it didn't seem to really bother him at all. So, no, it's
And in Cape Breton, we've seen 6-0 Moncton, 6-3 Moncton, and 5-3 Cape Breton. So we're 2-1 when we go there. So
I think we'll probably see a different Cape Breton team this time around.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So you'll have to,
because they got us, and then they got back-to-back Halifax and back-to-back Cape Breton, or back-to-back St. John. So
you got to be able to match their intensity. They're they're going to come out strong. They were in Chicoutimi until Sunday, so they probably didn't get home till Monday morning, Monday afternoon. So you could take advantage of a tired group. We never know, but again, I'm not gonna don't want to put too much. I don't want to look at it too much. It's these games against Cape Breton have been way too unpredictable.
Yeah, and they generally are, and especially if this is a potential for a second round matchup. I'm good. Just take care of the business to not even give them a sniff of hope that they may get something, right? So I don't know how they're going to do it, but I want nothing to do with Karchik and even Denway playing against Bathurst. I'm not saying take nights off, and I know it's not the Gardiner way to take nights off, but you've clinched everything. If there's time to do that with a Denway to make sure he's 100% healthy. He looks it. He's played every game with the Pekarchek to make sure he's 100% healthy. He looks it. He's played every game. I don't know how you find it with some of the Black Aces that we talked about in the Schlender. I don't know, is Miramichi in the playoffs? Yeah, they are. So I don't know how that's going to work. But, because Miramichi plays on Sunday. West Kent. You can get Jack Hanen.
I don't think you'll see any call-ups this weekend. I think they'll roll with their lines, and
I just don't want to see it. I mean, you got Cooper Cormier too, so you can take Pekarczyk out. I just don't want something freak. You know what I mean? Like, it's just everything's lining up so well.
I don't want
anything freak.
It was mentioned on the message board as well. I just don't think it happens.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. I just don't think it happens.
It's also a slippery slope. Like, if Pekarczyk gets a night off, how come Vidicek doesn't get a night off, or how come Moran doesn't get a night off, or one of our goaltenders gets a night off to let Farrer play? Like, I don't want to give teams points, but I also want to make sure that everybody is 100% healthy, and we're not coming on here next Wednesday going, well, 88's week to week, and he should be ready for game one. Like, I don't want any of that crap. I want a clear head, full steam ahead, because, I mean, there was 8 players sick against Rimouski. I get Pekarczyk was also out, but it was a completely different team when those two games, right?
I just, again, don't think it's going to happen. I'm not expecting it to happen. I'll be surprised if there's any healthy scratches or
major
mysterious injuries.
Yeah.
That just
the sickness.
It doesn't seem. It's not the Gardiner.
It's not
the Gardiner way of doing things.
It's not. But if he ever wants to listen to me one time, I've only ever doubted him one time. Are you ready for everyone's favorite part of the show?
Yes, of course I am.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
Eric Murray, realtor, buy our house from him. Stick tap of the week.
All right, so we have possibly some media competition.
What? I'm just kidding. I was like, what?
Stick tap of the week's going to buddy of our show, friend, not necessarily friend of the show, but loyal listener.
Yeah.
Ethan Leal. We've mentioned Ethan before because he was running for, I believe, either grade 10 or grade 11 rep at Harrison Trimble last year.
Yeah.
So we pumped his tires a little bit and got, he ended up getting him elected.
Nice.
So I'm not sure how much of that to mention of our podcast got him the votes, but he's doing a fine job over there at Trimble from what I hear. Ethan has created Maritime Sports Nation. He's basically created a sports blog, and he's covering, the high school sports scene, the Wildcats, the Maritimers in the NHL. Everything is this is kind of what we needed, but didn't, with the decline of coverage that we've seen in the media as of late. Anything we can get to cover this organization or this team or all the sports around us is what we need. So Ethan is he's got a few blogs up. He's working away at it. Only got 8 followers on the X, so we're going to need to get him a little more numbers on that one. So it's at Maritime SN. And you know what, Adam? You and I are getting old.
Yeah, we are.
Don't know how much longer we can keep this show going. I mean, we'll keep her going, but not sure if I'll still be doing this in my 50s.
I got lots of years left.
Okay, well, you can.
I got at least 7 to get to 50. What do you got?
Oof. Boys got 10 years.
So a maximum of 10 years.
And we're going to need people that cover the organization, cover the team like Ethan. So when Adam and I are ready to
step away,
pass the baton,
we're
going to need to find some suitable replacements. So Ethan, if you keep up with this stuff, you might be in these seats one of these days. But we still got 10 years. So I'll retire on my 45th birthday.
The Stick Tap of the Week, sponsored by Eric Murray Real Estate with the RE/MAX Avante team. If you're looking to buy or sell a home in the Greater Moncton or surrounding area, make sure to check him out on social media or give him a call at 506-863-8802.
And that brings us to the Wildcat of the Week, presented by Rosemary Lynn Massage and Spa, who has the teeth whitening, which is now available for booking starting at $85. 3 15-minute sessions are included in your service price, add another 15 minutes for only $20. And don't forget, they've got the loyalty card. Buy 9 spa services, get 1 free. Call them at 506-830-1224 or stop in at 1224 Mountain Road, as they are now accepting new clients. I did see that Nicole had the cold tub ready.
Yeah.
And she was in it, and I was like, I thought Jeremy was the first one.
I was supposed to be the first one.
So I reached out and I said, when did Jeremy, and now that we're at 1,000 followers on TikTok, when do you want us to come make our TikTok? And she said, when my dad builds the stairs to get into it. And I was like,
she's calling me fat? No, just kidding.
She's calling us fat. I was like, all right, you let us know, and we'll make our TikTok debut in the cold tub.
Oh, like together or just
no? I don't know. No, I don't know how big it is.
I'm not sure if there's room for 2.
Yeah, I don't know how big it is.
But a little cozy atmosphere. If it was.
Yeah, that is true. This one was a toss-up. Both players made the Q team of the week, and one of them made Boucher's team of the week. So I'm going to talk. Oh no, both of them made Boucher's team of the week. You went with that extra or that fifth forward. Forgot the line change. Line changes. You had to jump out there. But it was a weekend for Matthias Rougeau, back-to-back wins. Like we said a little earlier, he looked like the Rougeau we saw in Halifax in the playoffs and in his record-setting season. And like Jeremy said, he kind of stole the show in Sherbrooke for that one. So the Wildcat of the week, going 2-0-0, 948 percentage, and a 1.5 goals against average, is your goaltender. Whoops, wrong one. Matthias Rougeau. And that'll do it for this week. Yeah. That road trip, that looked like a hell of a good time.
Yeah. I know you had some FOMO. I also had some FOMO.
Oh, I had major FOMO. The very first, about halfway through Wednesday, I was like, yeah, I got FOMO for not going. Like, I was like, do you want to go up? Do you want to just make the drive, Jeremy, just for that Rimouski game? Like, and then the rest of the trip, I was like, yeah, I have some FOMO. It looked like a hell of a good time.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they got the Mr. Puffs in.
2 of them did,
yeah, which is good. We have some more supporters.
We do, yeah. We got 2 more: Michelle and Mike Verenson and Jalen Gilesh and her dad Dennis. I was telling everybody, I was like, go to Mr. Puffs, get your bus driver to go to Mr. Puffs. He didn't want to go in, like it was traffic, and which I understand, but it changes your life. And talk to those that have had it. It changes your life. So if anyone's got a cool $350K. You can bring one of those to Moncton.
That's right.
Absolutely. I got the names because I wanted to give them a special shout out. There's 50 of them. I'm going to try to rip through them as fast as I possibly can.
Oh, boys.
Because we said it. They were the reason they got that victory in Blainville. You could hear them on the TV the whole time. They were featured in the Q picture in Sherbrooke. They were everywhere. They even got a picture with Marty. I would have liked to see Marty at least have one of them on like the intermission when he
did.
Did he have one of them on there?
Yeah, he had in Rimouski, he had Craig Hope, and I think in Sherbrooke was Sather. Al is
Sather, yeah.
Sather.
Did he have a couple on?
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe I should start listening to the intermissions. Every time he talked, he's like,
he doesn't have us on.
Yeah. We're in the booth every night.
Yeah.
So Bruce and Denise Arsenault, Nicole Sullivan, Tanya Stewart, Julian Robichaud, Ken Shea, Pam and Robert Gallant, Paul Gaudette, Kelly McCarthy, Brenda and Jen Jensen, Evan Fevers, Deidre Clark, Carolina, Paul Richard, Louis Santier, Kathy and Alan Sather, Kelsey Ivany, Alban LeBlanc, Ken and Kathy Crosswaite, John McDonald, Donna and Tim Burke, Mike and Michelle Verenson, Kara and Sam Walker, Reese Walker, Jackie and Jean-Guy Boudreau, Aiden Sarah, Nicole Wilkins, Chantel Boucher, Kathy Kerr from Halifax went on the bus trip.
Oh, nice.
Giselle Rushton, Pam and Craig Hope, Troy Lowther, Gordon Smallwood, Robert Kirkpatrick, Tracy and Cameron Demoir, Dennis and Jalen Gilcash. And again, they've said it a few times, their bus driver, Jamie Delisle, who did all the Nicole had a post on the Wildcat fan group, how good Jamie was on the trip, got him safely from point A to point B, took him on Starbucks runs, made the journey just as enjoyable as the destination, his professionalism, whether it was last minute changes, keeping the ride smooth, or just making sure they were all comfortable and taken care of. And as well, Jason, the Wildcats bus driver, who helped them kind of navigate parking, tickets, and got Gardiner, Dylan, Simon, and Cooper Cormier on the bus after, which I thought was an unbelievable touch. But with that being said, if you watched that road trip, you can be a part of that in 2 ways. By getting your tickets for the final 3 home games, 3 ways actually, by getting your tickets for the final 3 home games, getting your playoff tickets, there's going to be nothing worse than 5,000 people in that building for the next 3 home games, and then 2,800, 3,000 for the playoffs.
Can't have that.
This is going to be something where, like, unlike the last couple of years where we were going in like this, hanging on, this is straight up. So get your tickets. If you're a Hometown Awards member, March 21st until then, you got your discount code. If you don't have that, make sure you get it. And yeah, there's one more bus trip to Bathurst. 2 buses are going up for that final game.
And if you're looking for, I don't know.
Are we on bus 1 or bus 2?
I'm not sure. I just know we're in the back of the bus. That's where the troublemakers sit. I don't know if this draw will be before or after this show comes out, but I saw something on the C103 or Q103, sorry, Facebook page where they're giving away a pair of tickets or a pack of 4 tickets to the Saturday or Sunday game. And you just have to, don't comment on their post. There's actually a link on their post. You have to fill out your name and email address and phone number and say which game you want to go to. So don't actually comment on the post. There's a link.
Go to their website.
Yeah.
q103.com/Wildcats weekend.
Yeah.
And there's 45 comments that are going to be
disqualified.
All the games.
Yeah.
Like, you almost have to do that and turn the comments off. Like, I love it. Don't comment here. 45 comments. March 15th, March 16th, March 15th, March 16th, which the March 16th game is the
read the post.
Is the
post.
Yeah, is the St. Patrick's Day game on the Sunday. We might have a green and black jersey. The way that logo looks, we might. And what is? Oh, March 15th is hockey card night. Whatever that is. But yeah, so we're going to be on that bus. So if you're on that bus trip, bring all your noisemakers. If you're going to the next 3 home games, bring all your noisemakers. Flex packs are available. Get your playoff tickets. Bring noisemakers. We have to have a full building.
And if you bring your noisemakers on the bus and you don't like noise on the bus, hallelujah. Holy shit. Where's the Tylenol?
For Jeremy, I'm Adam. See you next week.
Thanks for listening to another episode of the Wildcast podcast. Follow us on social media at Moncton Wildcast.